So today's video is just going to be things we need to do and things we need to talk about in the kitchen. Hello family, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. I am Vicki and you're with Grammy in the Kitchen. I want to send you back in time and show you the Ollie haul the husband and I did the other day. So the husband went to Ollie's yesterday and he brought me home 2 of these oven-proof, freezer-proof, microwave-proof bowls. I love them, absolutely love them, and I thought the kids would enjoy them also, so we went back today and picked up a couple more. So they're just a regular Anchor Hocking, I believe that's how you say it, clear glass bowls with the glass lid. But what's so amazing about it is they come with these little plastic silicone lids for food storage to put in the refrigerator. They're awesome. It's a 2-liter bowl. So we have 2. Then we picked up 3 more so we could take it to the kids in North Carolina the next time we go. I absolutely love them. They're perfect. They were only $3.99 a piece. If you saw in the last video where we made a homemade sourdough Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal, by the way, they are really good. I saw this pastry cutter and they're probably about 3/4 of an inch. Yep, 3/4 of an inch. So there are 3/4 of an inch in between the rollers, and it'll make rolling the cereal a lot easier. And that was only $1.99. I was actually looking for a pastry cutter. They didn't have it there. But the husband goes, "Look, Vicki, look what we have." It's the French rolling pin. You know we've been wanting this since Thanksgiving of last year. We finally got it, and this was only $6.99. I am very happy with the Ollie haul. So happy. So I went ahead and washed those bowls. They're actually sitting over there. I haven't found a place for them in the kitchen yet. But today we need to make crackers, plus I need to make some more cereal. I need to feed the sourdough starter. Plus we have some stuffing or dressing left over from the weekend when we made dinner together that I need to use, and we're going to make some meatloaf cups for the freezer. But come on in closer and let's get this day started. So I went ahead and took the sourdough starter discard out of the refrigerator so we can add to it. So let's go ahead and empty the sourdough starter. It's been 2 days since I've fed it, but it's okay. So I know it is hungry, so we need to feed it today. God, it smells so good. So I have 637. I only want to save 400, so I need to take 237 grams out of this bowl. All right, 236 is good. Let's put the 400 grams back in our container. Now we need 200 grams of flour. And we need 200 grams of water. Mix that in really well. Get that old and new all incorporate. Clear off beautiful window. All right, perfect. Just cover it up. Make sure our rubber band is where it needs to be. And the sourdough starter has been fed. It's going to be happy. So the first recipe I'm going to make today is my sourdough discard recipe. If you saw the video from last week, we used Parmesan cheese. I didn't take any out of the freezer. I'm not going to make it. But we are going to do the rosemary and thyme. So I need 600 grams of sourdough starter. Great, 601 looks good. So I've got a ½ teaspoon measure. We need 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, but I am going to go ahead and make it 1 teaspoon. When you double and triple and quadruple a recipe, it's just not enough for me. We need a total of 2 teaspoons of herbs per recipe. We are tripling this, so we need a total of 6 teaspoons. But I'm putting 3 teaspoons of thyme and 3 teaspoons of rosemary. That's basically a tablespoon. So I'm going to put a tablespoon of thyme and a tablespoon of rosemary. And switch it up a bit. I'm going to add a teaspoon of onion powder, a teaspoon of garlic powder. Mix that in really well. And I have 4 tablespoons of melted butter that has been cooled. Have everything all nice and blended. Oven has been preheated to 325 degrees. I got my large baking dish lined with parchment paper. The offset spatula, just move it around. Just trying to get it as even as possible. So pretty, and it's so delicious. In the oven for 10 minutes, 325 degrees. And another thing I picked up was a 1.5 inch binder. And I picked up some paper sleeves and some dividers. When I print a recipe, I don't want to go and rewrite it into my own recipe book. I'd just rather use the same recipe I'm printing when I go online. So I figured this is a great way for me to store all of my printed recipes from other websites, and I have them in categories with the dividers. I had to pick up some more dividers because it just wasn't enough. But this is a great way that when you find a recipe you like, you can just put it in this paper sleeves buy some dividers, divide it according to the categories, and that way it's all in one place. So I have a section that's just sourdough, and I have all my recipes right here of all the sourdoughs we've made and that we want to make. And as I print them, I'll just put them in more sleeves and fill this book up. So if you're like me and you print a lot of recipes from online and you want to have them in one place, it's nothing like just a regular 3-ring binder, some paper sleeves, and some dividers. And then you have a perfect cookbook at your ready. That's my suggestion. Let me know what you do when you print recipes, or when you write a recipe, or if you create something that your family says, oh goodness, that is so good, make that again, and you want to have a quick reference to go back to it. Let me know what you use. But I seem to be liking this pretty well. But I'm curious, what are you doing? Let me go ahead and wash those dishes while we're waiting on the crackers to finish cooking. Then we'll move on to the next recipe. 10 minutes it's up. Now we have to score our crackers. They don't have to be perfect. We can make them rustic, uneven, however we want to do it. You make them as big or as little as you would like. Back in the oven for 50 minutes. Now I'm going to go ahead and get started on the Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal. So I'm just grating a stick of butter. That's good enough. Make sure we get all this goodness off of this grater. I'm going to put this back in the refrigerator so it'll stay cold while we work on the other ingredients. All right, so in the stand mixer, we need to put 220 grams of flour. And we need 50 grams of sugar. Five grams of cinnamon, 4 grams of salt, add the grated butter, perfect. So this recipe can use either a fed sourdough starter or a sourdough discard. We're going to do sourdough discard. So we need 120 grams. I don't have that much in here, so I'm just going to go ahead and use it all. It's 134. That's going to be okay. Go ahead and add that to our mixing bowl. Now this time we're not going to forget the vanilla. Just go ahead and add a teaspoon of vanilla. And now we're ready to go to the stand mixer. And it only took 2 tablespoons of water, and we got a nice dough. Get all the goodness off of here. So I got a piece of parchment paper. And I want to use the new rolling pin. I am so happy and excited. And if you saw the last time we made these, we actually cut it in half and did it in several passings. I'm just going to go ahead and do it in one passing on a large piece of parchment paper just to see how thin we could get it. Oh, look at that. I'm so happy with this rolling pin. And we need to go to about 1/8 of an inch thick. And we'll try to keep it in a nice square. So I'm just going to remove them and put it somewhere else. Let's see how well that works. It's all about experimenting, family. Find what works for you and your family and go with it. I think I need to put some flour on the bottom half because it's not moving very well on the parchment paper. Okay, that looks good. Put it back on the paper and continue to roll. Oh yeah, much better. See how easy that's moving now? It's freed up from that parchment paper. And just remember, the thinner the little cookies will be, the crunchier they're going to be. Let me clean up this edge just a bit. All right, I think that is good. And now we get to use our new tool here also. Let's see if it's going to work. Look at that, family. That is so awesome. That is so cool. That is going to be the perfect size cereals. Oh, this is so neat. I love kitchen gadgets. Awesome. So I do have a little bit of cinnamon and sugar left over from the last time, but I went ahead and melted some butter, letting it cool. And we need to paint these little squares and put the cinnamon sugar on there. You want to make sure all the squares have a butter on there. That's what's going to hold the cinnamon and sugar on there. Perfect. Now we're just gotta wait till the crackers come out of the oven. Then we can put the cinnamon toast in there. Set this aside until we're ready. The crackers still have 23 minutes left. That is the perfect amount of time to get another load of dishes washed. Okay, the crackers are out of the oven. We'll let them sit right here until they cool. Now we need to get the cinnamon toast crunch in the oven. So I raised the temperature from 325 to 350. Let's go ahead and slide these on the pan. And now they're going to go in the oven for, I can't remember what I said last time. So the instruction says bake from 15 to 20 minutes or until the sourdough cinnamon toast crunch cereal is golden brown. So we're going to start off with 15 minutes and we'll go from there. As soon as the crackers cool off, we'll go ahead and put those in a big Ziploc bag and we can have crackers today, and I'll be able to fill up my cereal jar. And then we have one more recipe we need to work on, and this is going to be a meatloaf recipe in muffin cups, just for the freezer. We're not having this today. We're going to make the same recipe we made a couple weeks ago with the barbecue mini meatloafs. That has the stuffing mix, but we make our own. We already made the stuff that's in the refrigerator, and we need to use it up. So the 15 minutes for the cinnamon toast crunch was not ready. I extended it for another 10 minutes. I have the crackers in a Ziploc bag, but I figured I'd go ahead and take this time and start working on our barbecue mini meatloafs. So in this big bowl, I have 4 cups of the homemade stuffing we made last week. I have a pound of ground beef and a pound of ground turkey. And yes, this time I do mean turkey. Took these out of the freezer 2 days ago, had it sitting in the refrigerator. So they are thawed. So because I am doubling this recipe with 2 pounds of meat, in this bowl we have a half a teaspoon of pepper, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder. We're going to need about 4 tablespoons of barbecue sauce. Let's just get in here and start mixing. Let me wash my hands and we'll put them in the muffin cups and get them ready for the freezer. But in this casserole dish, I have 12 of the jumbo baking cups. I got these from Azure Standard. They have minis, large, and jumbo. The jumbo is the large muffin pan, where the large is the regular size muffin pan. So I have a half cup measure cup. Make sure we get some bread, some of that meat with all the herbs and spices. A little bit smaller than a golf ball. Alright, so that's 12. I do have some left over here. Let me wash my hands before I touch that box. Looks like I'm going to get 14. Perfect. If the husband and I eat 2 a meal, That's going to be 7 meals right there, family. That is pretty awesome. Look how perfect that is. So cute. This time I'm using a pepper jack cheese. That's what I took out of the freezer. I'm just going to go ahead and put some cheese on each one of them. That way when they go in the freezer, they have everything they need. And all we have to do is pop these in the oven straight from the freezer. And we have dinner. And don't worry, I know this bag is going to be cross-contaminated. I will make sure I label it. I'll use it for cooking only and not as a raw cheese. Because I am touching beef and turkey and touching the cheese bag. So this will go into the freezer until they've hardened, and then we can put them in a Ziploc bag, and that way we have easy pull from the freezer, throw in the oven, dinner's ready for us. So this is actually 7 meals for the husband and I. And the next time we need to make macaroni and cheese, which will be a cooked cheese sauce, I will use this cheese. But aren't they cute? They're so cute. All right, let me go find room in the freezer for this, and then we'll put them in Ziploc bags. All right, let's check our cinnamon toast. They're not quite ready. So I'm gonna give it a 180-degree turn, put them in the oven for another 5 minutes, and we'll check it again. Okay, just like everything else, when you get a new tool, you have to play with it to find the right way. But it didn't cut it all the way through, so now I gotta go through and break each one of these little squares, which is really not a big deal, but it's a little hassle. But that's okay. They are done. Mine took the initial 15 minutes. Then I did it for an additional 5 minutes 2 times, so an additional 10 minutes. So that was a total of 25 minutes. So I'm just going to go through here and break them all up. But I love the size. It is perfect. It's about a 1/2 inch square. Let me get it off of this pan so they can cool a little faster. I would love to share this with the grandkids. Once these cool off, I'll put them in my jar, and then we'll have some more cereal. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Just doing the things we normally do, make our own homemade crackers, homemade cereal. Plus, we also got some mini barbecue meatloaf in the freezer that we were able to repurpose some stuffing we had in the refrigerator. If you don't mind, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. While you're at it, please subscribe. I would love to have you part of the Grammy family. Right over here, you're gonna see 2 videos. Go check those out to the next upload. They're either gonna give you a chuckle or inspire you to get in your kitchen and do the things that your family enjoys eating. Cereal, crackers, or just a quick, easy frozen dinner that all we have to do is take out, throw in the oven, and it's ready. Until next time, y'all have a blessed day. Bye, family. Cereal.